The ARCA Racing Series, welcome to the Kansas Arca99 here on Speed. First race ever under the lights at Kansas Speedway, and the temperature 79 degrees. Probably the big mark on there. 9-mile-an-hour winds. Those are blowing straight down the backstretch, which will increase the speeds as the cars get into turn number 3. Hello everyone, Rick Allen and Phil Parsons with you once again as we just have 2 races remaining in the 2011 season, and probably the most dominant performance we've seen all year has been by Ty Dillon, race in and race out.
Yeah, it certainly has. As a matter of fact, all he has to do is get a pretty good finish here and maybe a little trouble by his pursuers, and he can go to Toledo, and all he does is start the race and he will clinch that championship. But what a terrific job he's done this season. Yeah. But he's got a lot of competition here tonight, though. And a racy racetrack. This is a very fast track, Phil. It really is. Everybody thought maybe Ty Dillon was going to be the fastest car in qualifying. He wasn't. We have 2 Venturini cars up on the front road because this is a very, very competitive fielder, and you can race all over this racetrack. You race on the bottom, middle, and up top. You talk about fast race cars. How about the fastest in qualifying? He is with our first man on pit road, Ray Dunlap.
Well, thank you, Rick. I'm standing by with Max Gresham, and I'll get to him in just a second. But I'll tell you what, hanging out in the garage today, when you watched practice, everybody here thought that Ty Dillon was going to be the guy to beat for the pole today here at Kansas Speedway. And we saw Max Gresham jump in that World Crown 300 Venturini Motorsports entry, and he was lightning fast today. Max picks up his 2nd pole of the year in the ARCA Series, and he also had 4 poles in the K&N Pro Division. You won the championship, and man, everything's going so great. But here's my big question. You got the pole, but what's it take to parlay that into a victory tonight at Kansas?
You're right. You know, I've just been really hot recently. It's been an awesome feeling to win the championship in the K&N Pro Series East, and then to come here at Kansas Speedway and sit on the pole in the number 25. It's been a real cool thing to happen, and you know, to win this race, it's going to take to run good on the long runs, and you know, I feel like the 25 is pretty good, and you know, it was real good in practice, so hopefully we can continue on into the race.
All right, we wish you good luck. He had a 2nd place finish earlier this year in Michigan, hoping to parlay that into a win today. Now let's go to my broadcast partner. Here's Wendy Venturini.
Thank you, Ray. Ty Dillon has 7 wins this season and well onto his way to possibly his first ARCA championship. But that first win in the ARCA Series came at this very racetrack 1 year ago. Ty, what does that do for your confidence returning here?
It does a lot. Anytime you come back somewhere that you've had success at, you're really confident. And we were really good when we unloaded, and we got a really fast race car. Just going to go out there and have a lot of fun, and really we've had a great year so far. So we're just trying to rack on some more wins at the end of this year and just have a little fun, and everything's going really great.
Have you been able to wrap your mind around a championship yet, or not putting yourself in that position?
I'm trying not to think about it. I've been really excited for our team just to run so well. But the way these points are working out, it's going to be, I guess we'll maybe lock it up next week or something. But we're just having fun. This is just kind of a reward to my team and then everything they've done so far this year. So just having a little fun, try not to think about it, but just going out here to win a race right now.
All right, Ty Dillon will start 3rd, but no doubt all eyes will be on him tonight.
And we look at those point standings. Ty Dillon up on top. Chris Buescher, 355 points. Now, they get 5 points per position here. That's why Ty Dillon hasn't locked up this championship as of yet. Yeah, and ARCA also rewards people for showing up the races, so many consecutive races. So there'll be a 250-point bonus on the line when everybody gets to Toledo. But that's going to be the same for everybody that runs all the races. So right now, Ty Dillon, he wants to win this race and put an exclamation point on this 2011 season. He has already been successful at virtually every other racetrack we've been to. And as we just heard, he has won his first ever ARCA Racing Series race at this track. Green flag's about to fly. Stay with us. Coverage of the ARCA Racing Series on Speed is brought to you by Sunoco, the official fuel of the ARCA Racing Series and fuel provider to 40 other racing series. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Welcome back to Kansas Speedway. Ty Dillon will start this race 3rd tonight. The last time we were on Speed was back in Pocono, where Ty Dillon ended up going to victory lane. But since then, we have had 4 races, and let's take a look back. After Pocono, they went to the dirt racetrack of Springfield, and it was Chad McCumbee who was able to get the checkered flag. That was his 3rd career win in the ARCA Racing Series. And first win for Andy Belmont Racing. Big day for that team. Huge milestone. The next stop, Madison. This was Alex Bowman making his first ever ARCA Racing Series starts, and he gets his first ever win. Alex will be in the field this evening. The next stop, DuQuoin. Chris Buescher had finished second 5 times this year, had not been to victory lane until they went to DuQuoin, and then he gets to victory lane, and the momentum is behind him. The next stop, Salem, and right back to victory lane goes Chris Buescher.
Great job he did there. And at one time we had Kimmels running first, second, and third at Salem.
And because of Salem being the last race that has been run, that's actually the last race in the Bill France 4 Crown, which is awarded every year. Chad McCumbee will win in 2011.
You know, Rick, we talk about the ARCA Racing Series being probably the most versatile series in all of racing. New Jersey is a road course. Michigan, a 2-mile super speedway. Illinois, we just saw, is a mile dirt. And Salem, a high-banked half-mile asphalt racetrack. Great, great diversity in this series.
And a great job by Chad McCumbee winning that award in 2011. I mentioned the last time we were on speed was at Pocono, and it wasn't all the Ty Dillon show because another driver tried to steal the spotlight midway through this race. Take a look at the 59 of Buster Graham. You'll see him sliding across the racetrack, and over the guardrail. Have you ever seen a race car do that?
How many of them a 9.5?
Look at this. An access road launches the car over the infield guardrail. And he wasn't the only one who got airborne.
Brandon Kidd in the 7 car got way up in the air, stayed this side of the guardrail anyway.
And Tom Birdie in the 35 also involved. That's Buster Graham there after a wild ride. There's Brandon Kidd climbing out of his race car, and Tom Birdie also. Everyone walked away, but it was magnificent, those cars flying through the air. Max Gresham is going to start from the front of the field tonight, grabbing his 3rd career pole. He won the Menards Pole Award presented by Ansel, and he will start from the front, but a big, impressive moment for him was winning the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East. Now, right in front of him, that was
a double zero car.
In the double zero, he blew a right front tire. He was actually chasing him for the points championship.
And there's Darrell Wallace Jr. right there, gets the win. But what a great job. You can see top of your screen is Max Gresham doing his burnout, and then race winner Darrell Wallace Jr., who finished second in points, doing his burnout.
His first NASCAR championship. Max Gresham will start on the pole, and what an honor that has to be, receiving the trophy from Mike Helton, NASCAR president. So Max Gresham, again, coming in here with a lot of momentum and a lot of excitement after winning his first NASCAR championship. And he'll take the field to the green flag when we return. Welcome back. Kansas ARCA99 about to get underway. The engines are fired. Drivers all strapped in as we're getting ready for 99 laps around this 1.5-mile racetrack. Cars all lined up on pit road, and the starting grid is going to roll across the top of your screen. Again, Max Gresham winning his 3rd career pole in the ARCA Racing Series. It's his 2nd of 2011, so he will bring the field to the green flag, and Venturini Motorsports teammate Alex Bowman will start on the outside of row number 1. And a pretty impressive first start for Alex Bowman. Gets his win at Madison, comes back here, starts 2nd in this race.
Yeah, and the first time he's ever been on a super speedway. Dover last week was the biggest racetrack he'd ever been on. He also ran the K&N Pro Series East Division race there at Dover.
I want to take a look at our track description and race analysis for this 1.5-mile Kansas Speedway.
See this great racetrack here, 15-degree banking in the corners. They're going to repave this racetrack sometime in the middle of next year. See the front stretch is obviously a tri-oval. Backstretch bank 5 degrees. Fast racetrack. Speeds upwards of 190 miles an hour as they enter the corner. You see our pit window somewhere between 60 and 70 laps.
Ty Dillon winning this race a year ago. That was his first of 9 career wins in the ARCA Racing Series, 7 of those coming in 2011. Want to do our speed spotlight, shining a light on a few different ARCA drivers, and we'll begin with Ray Dunlap.
Well, thank you, Rick. I'd like to take a look at car number 32. How about Ryan Wilson? He comes from Randleman, North Carolina. He'd like to make the Wilsons the 2nd most famous racing family from that town. but he's got a brand new sponsorship this weekend from Champion Oil, and they're located just about 70 miles from right here at Kansas Speedway, and they've got a lot of folks in the grandstands tonight dipping their toes in the water here in ARCA, and young Ryan, who's won a lot of races in late models, just learning about this kind of racing, hoping to have a top 5 run tonight here at the Kansas Speedway.
John Blankenship, this is his first year on pavement, Ray. He's usually used to racing on dirt. Actually, he races about 60 to 70 dirt late model races every year, including this season as well. He's a busy man at 30 years old, comes out of Knoxville, and he and his wife Heather are expecting their first baby. When it comes to racing, though, chassis number 79 for John Blankenship. He won with this car, Steve Arpin won with this car last year at Texas, and this car sat on the pole earlier this season at Chicago with Josh Richards at the wheel. So we know this car is awfully good at this type of racetrack. Phil?
Wendy, I'd like to shine a spotlight on 18-year-old Tucson, Arizona driver Alex Bowman. Alex got his start in quarter midgets, winning 6 national titles. He led all drivers in combined USAC Open wheel wins in 2008 and was named the USAC Midget Driver of the Year. After making the move to stock cars in 2009, he ran the full schedule in the K&N East Division this season, finishing 6th in points and winning Rookie of the Year. Alex made his ARCA debut in August at Madison, Wisconsin, as you mentioned before, grabbing the win over Chris Buescher. He will start from the outside of the front row in his St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital Toyota. Rick?
Yeah, Phil, my spotlight driver also has 1 win in the ARCA Racing Series. He's driving the number 52 Federated Auto Parts Chevrolet. Yes, the colors are a bit different than they normally look on this race car. That's because Ann Schrader called Federated and said, guys, what would it be like if we made that car pink? Because of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And Ann has 2 close friends that lost their lives to that disease, Lisa Maloney and Laura Jones, just losing their lives recently. So a very near and dear cause to her heart, and so the car looks beautiful this evening. Tom Hessert, currently 7th in the point standings. He finished 6th in this race a year ago. We'll see how he does this evening. So the cars are rolling around the 1.5 miles. They're heating the tires up. Everything, temperatures are coming up in the cars. And we'll get the green flag when we return.